Welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. Today we're talking wash stations, but before we do that, a quick word from our sponsors and roll those credits.
PCBWay are proud sponsors of the channel. They offer industry-leading 3D printing services covering all types of materials and processes. They also offer industry-leading online CNC machine services from milling, machining, and turning in all the materials you could possibly need. They also offer a fully online prototyping PCB service. Everything from assembly through to design, you can do it all online with an easy system to use for quality. So for all of your needs, check out PCBWay in the link in the video description.
Right, now one of the biggest problems I've had for quite a while is washing prints. Printers are getting larger, but washing curing stations ain't. Now, we recently done on Starfield, you'll see we did the big Terminator bust. We couldn't fit that, even though it was done in a couple of few pieces, we couldn't fit that in any washing station we had. So we ended up putting it in a big bucket and just basically filling that with IPA and washing it in a big bucket. It's not ideal. You're permanently switching IPA from one to another and it's not good. Well, Starfield sent us this. Now this is considerably larger than what we have been using. I like this. So on the front, you'll see you've got a plus and a minus, a power button and a dial. Very straightforward. All the controls are on the front. Power on, power off. What is a little bit weird is this goes by seconds and not go by minutes. So use the plus and minus to set how many seconds you want to wash for. And the dial you can turn to increase the intensity of the wash. So you can slow the impeller down or you can speed it up to maximum. To show you what this is like, we're going to cure a print. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut here while I go and get it off the build plate. And we'll see what this is like. And we're back. So this has just come off of another printer. With this wash station, so one, it's really big. That on its own would struggle to go in one of our normal wash stations. You'd get it in, but more than like the horns would be sticking out or one part of it would be sticking out. What I'll do is we'll zoom in here. So, power button. You then set how long you want to wash it for. So, let's just go for 330 seconds for this. Once you've set your time, you've then got this dial. You give it a turn. You're 18, 20, so it goes up, which I presume is percentages. But if you go all the way up to 100, now, this works quite well. Right, now this works quite well. It agitates the surface of the IPA really quite a lot. You do get a vortex in the middle where it pulls down. What I do like about this, now, I'm in two minds what this part is for. So it's either that if you've got small pieces in there, you put that on top of the cage, stops them floating off and going around, or if you've got pieces that you want to separate because you want to wash, you put some in the basket, you put the lid on, you put some on top of the lid, and you separate them while you're washing. I presume that's how it works. The lid you'll see there's some little catches either side. Put that on. There you go. That's sealed. You're not going to be losing any of that IPA. Because, well, for one, when you're filling a wash station this size, It's quite a lot of money in IPA. What you don't want to do is be losing it every day, just a little bit at a time, because you don't want to be replacing this just because it's evaporating. Okay, once it's spent, you need to replace it, fair enough, but you don't want to be losing a bit each day, getting lower and lower. So, let's just dry this off. Right, now, a lot of that IPA has flashed off, still a bit wet. What I usually do is I usually air dry my prints for 30 minutes or so before I cure them, get rid of that IPA. But that has washed really well. There's no signs of resin anywhere on here. It's clean, no residue. Washed really well. So, if you are a Starfield backer, I couldn't suggest highly enough that you get the wash station. When you're getting printers that are sort of like these 16-inch printers, washing the stuff in them is a real problem if you're using the whole build plate for a print. They just don't fit in normal size like the Anycubic wash stations and stuff like that. The parts just will not fit inside them. This was done on a 10-inch printer. So, to be honest, you would probably just squeeze that into a normal wash station on a 10-inch printer. Once you start going 16 and you're doing large parts, like the Terminator head we did, you're only fitting it in something like this. You're not fitting it anywhere else. And when you're having to do it in a bucket and wash it, you never get a perfectly clean job, especially if a part is hollow as well, where you're trying to get the IPA into the inside of the print. You really need to be able to submerge it fully and get it washing for a good amount of time. So if you have backed the Starfield, really do yourself a favour. For how much the wash station is, this wash station is, if you've already a backer, like to add this on is $149 with no additional shipping included. So this really is, it's a no-brainer. If you're paying for that printer, get yourself the wash station. You will not regret it, because the thing is, if you get a printer like the Starfield, you're going to be printing big stuff on it. Printers like those are not meant. Yes, you can do large build plates of minis and stuff like that. You can. It's really not a problem. But what a lot of people are going to do with these printers is print large stuff. Large stuff has to be washed. Okay, the Starfield has a built-in cure, so you can cure, but to be honest, the most important part of post-processing is your washing. If you really need to, you can cure outside. Like, leave it out there for an hour, job's done. But you can't leave it out there to wash for an hour. You need to be able to wash them properly. So for $149, if you've backed it, just get one of these. Like, you will not regret it. It will make your life infinitely easier with large-scale resin printing. So, with that being said, grab yourself one of these. Do it now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.